What if I told you that the ancient nation of Israel, once united under King David and Solomon, split apart, and the 10 of its tribes vanished from history, scattered across the globe in ways that are still being revealed today? The 12 tribes of Israel form the bedrock of biblical history. Yet the fate of 10 lost tribes remains one of the greatest mysteries of the Bible. Where did they go? Are they still out there? And what role do play in biblical prophecies regarding the end times? The Bible tells us that God chose these tribes for a special purpose, but due to rebellion and sin, they were scattered to the ends of the earth. Today, groups across the globe, from Ethiopia to India, Asia, and even the Americas, claim descent from these lost tribes. Could the reappearance of these scattered descendants be the fulfillment of ancient prophecies? And what does this mean for the final chapter of human history? In this video, we will uncover the biblical origins of the 12 tribes of Israel, explore how 10 of them became lost, and dive into the claims of modern groups who say they are the descendants of these tribes. Most importantly, we will examine the prophetic significance of their return in the end times. Deep Bible stories will take you on a journey through time, showing how these ancient prophecies are still unfolding today. The origin of the 12 tribes of Israel can be traced back to Jacob, the grandson of Abraham, who had 12 sons. In a pivotal moment, Jacob wrestled with God and was renamed Israel, meaning one who struggles with God. His 12 sons became the patriarchs of the 12 tribes of Israel, each inheriting a specific portion of the promised land. The sons of Jacob and the tribes they fathered are Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, whose 2 sons Ephraim and Manasseh each received their own inheritance, and Benjamin. These tribes together formed the nation of Israel, with the tribes of Judah and Benjamin occupying the southern kingdom, while the other 10 tribes, often referred to as the northern kingdom, settled in the north under the leadership of tribes like Ephraim and Manasseh, as prophesied by Jacob in Genesis 49. Each tribe had its own unique destiny, but it was their disobedience to God that led to their scattering and eventual disappearance from the historical record. Following the reign of King Solomon, the unified kingdom of Israel was torn in two. The southern kingdom, called Judah, was composed primarily of the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. The northern kingdom, called Israel, consisted of the remaining 10 tribes, including Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh. The northern kingdom quickly fell into idolatry and rebellion against God. Despite warnings from prophets like Hosea and Amos, the people continued to reject God's covenant. In 722 BC, God's judgment came in the form of the Assyrian Empire, which invaded the northern kingdom, captured its people, and scattered them throughout the vast Assyrian lands. The king of Assyria deported Israel to Assyria and settled them in Halah, in Goan, on the Habor River, and in the towns of the Mez. 2 Kings 17-6. These 10 tribes were dispersed across the Assyrian Empire, and over time, their identity as distinct tribes became blurred, earning them the title of the Lost Tribes of Israel. But are they truly lost, or are they simply waiting to be revealed in the end times? The disappearance of the 10 lost tribes of Israel is one of the most intriguing mysteries in biblical history. After the Assyrian conquest in 722 BC, these tribes were scattered across the Assyrian Empire, and their identity was gradually absorbed into the surrounding cultures. However, the Bible and Jewish, the tradition suggests that the 10 tribes were not entirely lost. They were dispersed among the nations, awaiting a prophetic return over the centuries. Various groups across the globe have claimed descent from these tribes, holding on to ancient Jewish customs, traditions, and beliefs. Despite their geographical isolation, some of these groups have become prominent in the modern world, while others have remained obscure, but all claim a direct connection to the lost tribes of Israel. Here's a closer look at some of the most notable groups that believe they are descendants of these lost tribes. 1. Beit Israel, Ethiopian Jews claiming descent from the tribe of Dan. One of the most well-known groups claiming descent from the lost tribes is the Beit Israel, or Ethiopian Jews, who believe they are descendants of the tribe of Dan. Their presence in Ethiopia stretches back for thousands of years, and they have maintained unique Jewish customs that set them apart from other African ethnic groups. The Beit Israel kept the Sabbath, practiced circumcision, followed kosher dietary laws, and observed various Jewish festivals, even during centuries of isolation from the broader Jewish world. The Ethiopian Jewish community has long maintained that they are part of the lost tribe of Dan, one of the 10 northern tribes exiled by the Assyrians. Their oral tradition tells of a migration from Israel to Ethiopia via Egypt, where they established themselves as part of a long forgotten branch of the Israelite people. This claim was supported by their religious practices, which mirrored those of ancient Israel, and their unbroken tradition of Judaism. In the modern era, their claim was validated in the eyes of the Jewish world when Israel's rabbit officially recognized the Bet Israel as part of the Jewish people in the late 20th century through operations such as Operation Moses 1984 and Operation Solomon 1991. Tens of thousands of Ethiopian Jews were airlifted to Israel, fulfilling a modern echo of the ancient prophecies regarding the regathering of Israel's exiles. Their connection to the tribe of Dan remains a fascinating part of the wider narrative of the lost tribes, and their return to Israel is seen by many as part of the ongoing fulfillment of biblical prophecy. 2. Ben Israel, Indian Jews claiming descent from the tribe of Ephraim. The Ben Israel, located primarily in the western regions of India, trace their roots back to the lost tribe of Ephraim. According to their oral tradition, their ancestors were shipwrecked on the Indian coast centuries ago, possibly during the Assyrian exile, and established a small Jewish community in India. They remained isolated from the broader Jewish world for much of their history, but kept certain Jewish customs, such as observing the Sabbath, circumcision, and dietary laws. What's remarkable about the Bene Israel is that they survived for centuries with limited contact with other Jewish communities, yet managed to retain a strong sense of Jewish identity. Despite their isolation, their traditions have similarities to those of mainstream Judaism, and claim of descent from the lost tribe of Ephraim is taken seriously by many in the Jewish world. In recent decades, some members of the Ben Israel have immigrated to Israel, contributing to the diversity of Israel's Jewish population and representing yet another potential fulfillment of the prophecy of the return of the lost tribes. 3. Pashtun tribes, Afghanistan and Pakistan claiming descent from the Pakistan tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the Pashtun people of Afghanistan and Pakistan, also known as Pathans, claim to be descendants of the lost tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Joseph. This claim is supported by their ancient traditions, many of which bear striking resemblances to Israelite customs. For example, many Pashtun tribes practice circumcision on the 8th day, avoid eating pork, and follow other cultural practices reminiscent of ancient Israelite law. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting their claim is their oral tradition, which consistently refers to their Israelite heritage. For centuries, the Pashtun have referred to themselves as Bani Israel, children of, quote, Israel, passing down stories that link their ancestry to the northern kingdom of Israel. Some Pashtun tribes even carry names that are similar to the names of the Israelite tribes, such as Rabbani and Levani. Scholars and historians are divided on the validity of these claims, but there's no denying the persistence of these traditions. With the Pashtun numbering in the tens of millions, the possibility that they could be descended from the lost tribes adds a fascinating dimension to the broader narrative of the regathering of Israel in the end. Times 4. Igbo Jews, Nigeria, claiming descent from the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. The Igbo people of Nigeria have long maintained that they are descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, particularly the tribes of Gad and Zebulun. The Igbo people have a strong cultural tradition that includes practices similar to those found in Judaism, such as circumcision on the 8th day, dietary restrictions, and the CZ80 observance of certain religious festivals. Many Igbo believe their ancestors were among the lost tribes scattered during the Assyrian conquest. While their claims have not been widely recognized by the Jewish community at large, there is growing interest in the Igbo's connection to ancient Israel. Many members of the Igbo community have fully converted to mainstream Judaism in recent years, and some have immigrated to Israel seeking to reconnect with their long-lost heritage. Their connection to the tribes of Gad and Zebulun is part of a larger movement across Africa to uncover the lost remnants of the 10 tribes, raising the possibility that many more such groups could emerge in the present future. The LMBA, Zimbabwe and South Africa, claiming descent from the tribe of Levi. The Elbia people living primarily in Zimbabwe and South Africa have long claimed to be descendants of ancient Israelites, specifically the tribe of Levi. The Lerma's oral tradition maintains that their ancestors migrated from the Middle East to Africa centuries ago. Their customs, including circumcision, kosher-like dietary restrictions, and the observance of a Sabbath, have intrigued scholars for years. Recent DNA testing has lent some credibility to their claims. A significant percentage of the Elbia population has been found to carry the Cohen modal haplotype, a genetic marker associated with the priestly line of Aaron, which further strengthens the argument that they are descendants of the tribe of Levi. The Lerma's story is particularly fascinating because it suggests that the priestly line of Levi, though scattered, has maintained a presence in some of the most unexpected corners of the world. Their return, both spiritually and physically, may be part of the prophetic regathering of Israel. The biblical prophecies, the regathering of the lost tribes. The Bible makes it clear that the lost tribes are not forgotten by God. In fact, their return is central to the truths end-time prophecies of the Bible. Ezekiel 37 provides one of the most vivid descriptions of their eventual regathering in the Valley of Dry Bones prophecy, where God promises to breathe life back into the scattered tribes and reunite them with Judah. I will make them one nation in the land on the mountains of Israel. There will be one king over all of them, and they will never again be two nations, or to be divided into two kingdoms. Ezekiel 37:22. This prophecy foretells a future time when the lost tribes of Israel will be restored and reunited with the southern kingdom of Judah, forming a single, unified Israel under the Messiah. This event is seen as a key moment in the unfolding of God's plan for the end times. In Isaiah 11:12, the prophet speaks of the second regathering of Israel, indicating that God will reach out 1 CE more to reclaim his people from across the world. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the 4 quarters of the earth. This verse is not just about the return from Babylonian exile. It points to a much larger event, a 5 global regathering that includes the lost tribes of the northern kingdom. Many believe that this prophecy is being fulfilled in part through the return of groups like the Beit Israel and Ben Israel, and that the ultimate fulfillment will come with the return of all 12 tribes to their ancient homeland. In Revelation 7, we also see the 12 tribes of Israel represented once more as 144,000 individuals. 12,000 from each tribe are sealed for protection during the Great Tribulation. This passage reaffirms that even the lost tribes have a part to play in God's final plan for humanity. Then I heard the number of those who were sealed. Ebai Sishasi 000 from all the tribes of Israel. Revelation 7-4. The return of the lost tribes is not just a historical curiosity, it is a crucial part of biblical prophecy that will culminate in the Messianic age. According to the Bible, the lost tribes will be restored, reunited with Judah, and will play a significant role in the end times, particularly in the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. This regathering will be a supernatural act of God, a sign that the final days are near. As groups claiming descent from the lost tribes continue to emerge, the world watches for the fulfillment of these ancient prophecies. Their reappearance is a reminder that God's promises never fail, and that the return of the Messiah is drawing closer. The story of the 10 lost tribes of Israel is not over. While their fate seemed uncertain for centuries, the Bible assures us that God has not forgotten his people. Through groups like the Bet Israel of Ethiopia and the Pashtun of Afghanistan, we see the beginnings of their return. Prophecies in Isaiah, Ezekiel, and Revelation tell us that these tribes will play a key role in the proplinks end times, when they will be gathered from the far corners of the earth and reunited with the tribes of Judah under the rule of the Sivnavi Messiah. As we move closer to the fulfillment of these prophecies, the reappearance of the lost tribes is a clear sign that God's ultimate plan for Israel, and indeed the world, is unfolding before our eyes. If this deep dive into the 12 tribes of Israel and their prophetic role in the end times intrigued you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video from Deep Bible Stories, where we explore how ancient prophecies are shaping our